Victoria, take it away.
What's up, Uke Gang? How's everyone doing? Great, I hope. Just a friendly reminder, please like the video if you enjoy the content. Comment any tips and suggestions. All feedback is welcome. And subscribe if you like to see more. Thank you. Safe riding.
So, I wanted to talk about a video I came across the other day, posted by Wilson EUC. Great guy. I don't want to talk about the video specifically, or well, things that he mentioned, but just things, relating to that. So with all that being said, the worldwide EUC community is growing very, very, very freaking fast. Now, from the outside looking in, you would think that would be a great thing. Well, it is great, but at the same time, it can be just as bad as it is good. Reasons why, it's like the more people that are conscious about EUCs, eventually governments and, law enforcement from various places are starting to be more aware of what these things are. And as fast as these are growing up from a technological standpoint, these things are basically vehicles, right? So it's only a matter of time before, like, let's say you get pulled over, a cop asks you, how fast does your unicycle go? You're only going to get away with lying about the speed for so long, right? Let's say you have a unicycle that goes like 60 miles per hour, and you tell them it's 25 tops. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. As fast as these are like improving, as fast as these are growing, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be getting some street laws and regulations and rules and various places where you can and cannot ride, and how fast you can and can't go on these things depending on where you are. I'm pretty sure no matter where you live, rules and regulations are going to be coming down very soon. This is part of the reason as to why I avoid riding in traffic. One, because I will be the first to tell you that I don't believe I'm good enough to comfortably, confidently ride through traffic at high speeds and not, cause a wreck. Two, people are assholes. You can't predict other drivers. Some people will genuinely get pissed off just because they see you in the street. And me personally, man, I just like to stay out of the way. Like, if I have a clear path on the sidewalk, I'm taking that. I would much rather be on the sidewalk or on a dirt trail or something else. Like, there's just no need for me to be on the street unless I absolutely have to, or it's just empty. Like around my neighborhood, man, I know my streets pretty well, so I would only take the streets that I know that aren't occupied as often as like a busier road or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's not that I'm afraid to crash. Like, let's say I'm riding, right, and I just do something stupid or something unfortunate happens out of my control, and I just hit the pavement and I crash. I don't mind crashing. Like, I'm not embarrassed to crash. It's going to happen sooner or later. I haven't crashed yet, but it's going to happen. I'm okay with that. However, let's say you're in the street, and no matter what causes the crash, you crash. And you have cars swerving around you, or possibly you might have one that hits you, or you hit something else, or there's just so many factors that come into play while you're riding in traffic. You know what I mean? I don't care about being embarrassed and shit like that. But I've seen, man, I couldn't even tell you how many EUC crash videos I've seen, like, just in New York alone. The way I look at it, man, let's say, like, you crash in the street and, somebody takes that video, like a government official or a cop or something. They take that video and they use it as a reason to ban EUCs. Or not outright ban them, but, like, start hitting you with crazy regulations and stuff like that. Imagine having to go and get your registration for your unicycle. It's bullshit. But I think with the way these are moving, like how fast these are growing, I think that might happen, man. You might have to start getting registered and stuff like that. You might have to start getting insurance, as if like it's a motorcycle. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it. I feel like there's other riders out there who I don't want to say reckless, but at the same time, that's exactly what that is. You know what I mean? I would, as a rider myself, I would never tell somebody how to ride, but it's just like, I feel like EUC riders, us EUC riders have to take it upon ourselves to hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to call somebody out and, tell them what they're doing is stupid or dumb or reckless or whatever the case may be. Man, it's just like, I hate to keep bringing up New York, man, but it's just like those guys out there are crazy. First of all, very skilled, very talented, but just, reckless, man. It's just, I've seen too many crashes. You can be like the world's greatest EUC rider in terms of like jumping ability, maneuverability, agility, and all that kind of stuff, right? And, you can still get yourself fucked up. That's all I'm saying. But it's just like, I feel like there are, let's say you have places where I am, Colorado, which is a lot more tamed, when it comes to EUC riders. You never know. A place like New York might ruin it for other people in other places, in other states. You just never know. I'm already seeing places like outside of the U.S., let's say like Vancouver. I just saw a video of EUC riders getting hit with hefty fines, like $600 fines. I think it was actually more than that, $600 fines or more, just for riding in the street. They didn't crash, they didn't do anything, they weren't bothering people, just riding normally, and got hit with the fine because they didn't have insurance and it wasn't registered, even though you can't get those registered, that doesn't even make sense. So it's like, what's to stop that from happening anywhere else? And the real shitty part is, again, like, if you get into a crash and it's the driver's fault or whatever, let's just say the EUC rider is not at fault at all. They're going to look at the EUC guy and be like, well, you really shouldn't be in the street in the first place. So it's always going to come down on the EUC guy pretty much almost all the time, in my opinion. But yeah, that was like the main thing I really wanted to talk about. Shit's getting crazy out here. I don't know if you guys noticed, but did you guys see that tiny ass jump I tried to do? That was the main purpose of me riding out today, is just to practice, tapping into more power without speed wobbles and some jumps. And that jump was absolutely pathetic. Man, for the life of me, I do not know what it is exactly. I do know for a fact that it's not the wheel, but anytime I try to get more power, this is a very powerful wheel and I can feel it. I can just feel it, right? Every time I try to accelerate, it goes, it really goes, but I just can't avoid speed wobbles. And then I always have to for the V14, at least for now, the only way I can stop the speed wobbles is if I just slow down. And I can never get to I don't think I've even hit 30 on this thing yet. And I'm trying to do it, but I just can't. I think I'm pretty sure it's just I'm in my own head. So I've been trying to practice here and there, and like I said, I do a lot of my writing off camera sometimes, just so I don't have to hold myself in camera. But yeah. Speaking of which, I've been watching a lot of Johnnygovroom on YouTube. First of all, this guy, man, as far as EUC writers or just EUC content, this guy is easily my favorite YouTuber to watch, bro. I love this fucking guy, man. The charisma's there. He's very informative, very skilled with the V14. Not even just the V14, just everything this guy has. Very freaking responsive in the comments. You ask him a question, he'll either address it in the comments itself or in another video, and I appreciate that so much, man. I see this guy. He's riding the V14. He's on these trails and he's just ripping it, and it's just I think I commented on one of his videos one time. I was like, bro, could you please do a video on how you are able to accelerate effortlessly without the speed wobbles? And he commented and saying he will get right on it. So, I'm just waiting on that, really, to be honest, man. I'll literally take any tips that I can possibly get, because I just want to, the way he rides his wheel is how I want to ride mine. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not as skilled, but I just want to be able to, not be, I don't want to say scared, but that's not really an unfair assumption to make. I just don't want to be in my head. I don't want to like hold myself back. You pay money for these wheels, and I want to be able to ride, man. I want to be able just to go and have fun and jump and do all these cool things. So today I'm just out, just hanging out on my V14, man. There was like no plan, no objective, just riding through neighborhoods and, just spending time with my wheel, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to take the dog out for a walk, Man, and it's like, there's nothing that beats a nice sunny day where it's like just perfect, right? All just weather conditions, just optimal for everything, right? But at the same time, with that being said, man, I do appreciate these cloudy days too. It's just, I don't know what it is about them. It just seems so peaceful. I also love the sound of wind when it's not too crazy. And I definitely love the sound of this V14. Like, it just, I don't know what it is. I just like the way the rubber sounds on the pavement. So like I've said before, I do a lot of my riding off camera. It's just nice not having to hold a selfie stick sometimes. I gotta be completely honest. But, with that being said, I drove to the gas station the other day. I rode to the gas station the other day, just get some drinks and stuff like that. And one guy actually recognized me. He said he saw me around, riding around one time. And then he asked for my name, so I just gave him my YouTube channel. But, it's got me thinking of, like, creating, like, an alter ego. As corny as that sounds. Something like whenever I'm out riding on my EUC and somebody, like, shouts at me, there goes, and then they say something like, hey, there goes so-and-so. So, I don't know. I've been thinking of, like, Night Rider or something. No, that's taken. Purple Rider. No, that's taken too. Plus, I don't even wear purple. The Golden Bullet. Nah, that's corny. Adventure Boy. You know what? I'm going to keep thinking about it. Yo, I gotta be honest, man. For an off-road knobby tire, this shit actually feels pretty good on the road. Even though I'm typically not a street rider, the decision of either wanting a knobby tire or a street tire was probably one of the hardest decisions I made when buying an EUC. Because, again, I'm not a street rider, but at the same time, there's a lot of sidewalk, there's a lot of empty roads. So I was just like, what do I really want? But this feels good on everything. I will be 100% honest. I do like this tire from Inmotion. I don't know if it's Inmotion's tire, but it's a nice tire nonetheless. Also, did you guys just see the way I stopped? I know I'm not going that fast, but the braking assist on this thing is absolutely amazing. However, I do want to take all my braking, like all my power assist. I want to turn all that down, acceleration, braking, turn it all down, ride it in comfort mode, and just see how much longer the battery lasts. Because I will be 100% honest, man, the battery on this thing is absolutely abysmal, horrible. Okay, it's not that bad, but it just drains way too quick for my liking. And it's just like I just don't get it. Why did they do that? Like, they made this is a very powerful wheel, 4,000 watt motor, bro, and then you give us pretty much a battery that can't really, I don't want to say can't handle the output, but it's just like the range is not there, man. It just does not match. But I'm still having tons of fun on it. The waterproofing is immaculate. I'm riding through a ton of water, snow, puddles, all kinds of stuff, man. And I wash my wheel sometimes. I'll ride it soaking wet. So